Secondary School Employer Partnerships was born out of the Waikato Regional Labour Market Strategy in 2014, aiming for employer alignment with schools at the junior level, opening up the world of work to students and teachers alike. The approach was well researched and in 2016 was piloted on 5 schools with a view to scaling this initiative up. Thanks to our collaborative community, we have spread to 42 schools in Waikato, involved 250 employers and 250 educators, and 10,000 children have experienced it, and now the program is being adopted by Mid-Canterbury also. 5 years on, we have much to celebrate and a solid platform from which to evolve this initiative.
More has come out of SSEP than we ever even hoped that it would do so. Our initial goals with SSEP were to help young people understand the purpose of why they're studying those core subjects at school. It was introduce them to key industries in our region, to encourage young people to continue those subjects into senior school and to really think about those pathways as viable career options for them. Since 2016, we've been evaluating and measuring the impact of SSEP on students, teachers and employers. This graph basically shows the impact of students once they have had employers coming into the classroom and they've been going out on workplace visits. So as you can see across the board, the blue line is all students, and that is 2,909 students that have responded over the 5 years. The green line is Māori students. As you can see, the impact on students across the board, 75%, 65%, 81%. We've seen it's made a massive impact on them. It's made them more interested in the SSEP subject, influenced their school subject choices for the future. It's helped students understand the purpose of why they're studying the subject, influenced their feelings about what they could achieve, influenced qualification aspirations, influenced how long they'll think they'll stay in school, helped when thinking about their future career, and also, most importantly for Waikato, increasing the likelihood that they'll stay locally when they leave school, because the students can see all of the possibilities that are right on their doorstep. From those 5 pilot schools, we ended up with 2 models, the Fairfield College model and the Thames High School model, and which has pretty much informed SSEP as we've gone along.
It is wonderful that we have been there from the start. In the 6 years, we have worked with so many different amazing employers, and it's been so great for the students to understand that what they are learning has a purpose.
Yeah, the journey's been fantastic. It's been a great period of growth for us as a school in terms of the relationships we've been able to build, and of course the key beneficiaries of this relationship has been our students. It's it's been a wonderful relationship that we've really benefited immensely from. It's great.
It's been such a great opportunity for our students to be able to go and see the different employers. We've had students that have never thought, they didn't have a vision. They didn't know what their journey in life would be. And it has opened the eyes of many of our students that they now know that they can become someone that they never ever thought that they could, that there are so many different opportunities out there for them. So it's been absolutely amazing for our students to have this link with these employers.
Back when I was in year 9 or 10, I honestly had no real understanding of where I was going to go. So being involved with something like this would have been really beneficial, because then you can kind of have an understanding about what opportunities are out there and what pathways you can potentially look into getting into at an earlier date.
The visit to the company really reinforces what we were trying to tell them, and you see their faces light up when they see the types of jobs that we have, the types of people we employ, how realistic what they do in class is in the real world. It's very satisfying. Coming back for the second classroom visit, they're really a lot more engaged. Students just seem to understand what we're talking about and really want to learn.
Yeah, some of them they come out on farm and they haven't been engaged so much before, and their eyes light up when they see something different or something practical, or connect the dots to the theory and the reality.
For the employers to give up their time for our students is just so amazing. The students love to go to the different workplaces. For some of our students, it's the only opportunity that they have to see anything different from home and going to school.
There's a lot of room to be made around youth employment and employability and work readiness, and so this is a perfect opportunity to sort of shift the bar in a small way around youth perception and breaking some stereotypes around some of those pathways. It's a really cool opportunity for youth to explore and discover before they're ready for work.
You don't know what seeds you sow at a low level that actually bring fruit in 4 or 5 years' time.
It's been really exciting getting to the 5-year point. Of course, our first cohort of students back in 2016 were Year 13 students in 2020. So we've been able to actually track these students, and the impact on them has just been fantastic.
Hi, I'm Mitchell. I'm an apprentice builder. Yep. That's me. Yeah, I was quite short in year 9. I remember walking around all the different builders were working, and then they just kind of stopped, showed us what they're doing, how they're doing it. It's quite cool. I think it was a retirement village.
The employers haven't just reached our students and touched them, but also whānau. Also, there was a student that when she went to Westpac, decided to take all the information and everything she had home so that she could share that with whānau as well, and maybe open some doors there too.
I'd encourage the principals to become involved in the program, because the big advantage for us is it's provided a tangible connection that we now have relationships with businesses, like Deloitte's. We've got relationships with Timpac, we've got relationships with Montana, we've got relationships with Hamilton City Council, and those are relationships that we as a school wouldn't be able to build by ourselves. And as a result of that relationships, we've been able to help our students see the relevance of the curriculum areas that they're studying in. And that's also helped the teachers to even look at our pedagogy or our programs to see how they can be adapted. So I would say to any principal who is considering this that that it's a privilege to be involved in, and that they wouldn't regret it, because they're going to benefit. The whole school community is going to benefit as a result of it. There's been emails that we've received from Timpac and other organisations where they're looking for people to work, and it's really nice that they'll give us an email to say, okay, have you got any people that we can send their way to get employment. So that's been great.
I applied at a lot of other places but didn't get called back or anything. This is the only place that got back to me and gave me a chance. And yeah, just those couple months showed me what it was really like working full time.
The students have made their way through to our office and applied for roles, which has been great. We've had half a dozen to a dozen students that have come here, ex-students of Fairfield, and so they've seen that pathway and come and approached us, which is really part of the whole effort. And I think if there's any businesses out there that are thinking of looking for a particular program to take on board, then certainly jump on board with the SSEP here.
12 months ago, we surveyed 40 of our SSEP employers, which is around about 20% of them, and asked them about the work opportunities that they've created for young people as a result of their involvement with SSEP. These 40 SSEP employers alone had created over 800 work opportunities for young people, and 80% of them, around 650, were paid part-time or full-time jobs.
It's really exciting to have got to the stage through SSEP that we've now employing one of the students.
When I was in year 10, I had Marcus as my SSEP sort of talker. The job here, it was everything I wanted: outdoors, interactive, not sitting behind a desk all day. Yeah, just everything I wanted in a job.
And for me, it's so rewarding to have the opportunity to teach someone from scratch. So in Dylan's case, he wasn't from a farming background, and see when something clicks, the light go off in his brain, and it's really exciting to see that confidence building. So yeah, absolutely in the future, I'd be keen as to take someone on again. And
so a lot of the trigger is SSEP, and so we run a school holiday program for students from both Tokoroa high schools. What we do there, we take 15-20 students during all the school holidays, and we send them out to do various tasks in the industry, in the forest. They are technically engaged by our security and protection contractor, who and we set up a mātua-like kind of mentoring program as well. And they also get paid the living wage as a minimum, and which is quite cool, because that means that some of them are even earning more than their parents. The year before their intake of about 12 that finished, 6 went into the forest industry, 4 went into something like apprentices in town, and 2 went over to Australia to do some good jobs over there. And we do a formal kind of debrief session where we invite the parents, barbecue, and we talk to the students. We continue that kind of conversation, and the feedback we get from the students is that they never would have kind of progressed in the way they did if they hadn't have done something like that. So then that's kind of triggered by SSEP. SSEP is professional. They give us good feedback. You can tell that the people involved in it are really engaged and really want the kids to do well. So that makes us enthusiastic about it.
We love the fact that SSEPs have the potential to both showcase careers in our organisations, but also inspire today's rangatahi to find a place to work at home in their Waikato, in our Waikato community.
Our maths teachers have been able to get out of the classroom. For many of them, it's almost like the first time to move off the school site, get into local businesses and see how maths can be applied in a practical way, and they can bring that back into their classroom and speak confidently, giving examples to students in other classes.
We had SSEP come in and broker relationships. Building those relationships and having a look at the opportunities and the experiences on offer allows our students to become more excited, I suppose, about the opportunities.
It gives you like perspective on what you actually have to do and how much work there is.
I think it's just, for me, I've learnt just a lot more about different places.
It's actually opened my eyes a bit more, and it really gives you more of a opportunity to see what those career paths are like, and I think that's really valuable.
I think it's very good, and then they should keep it up and giving students that opportunity to see what it's like in the workplace instead of like always stuck in school or whatever. But yeah, I think it's good and that they should keep on doing it.
Our kids need this. They need to know what the employer does and what impact the school has. So I think made some real concrete evidence that school is important, and having employers come in and show them a way forward and how we do that has been really good for them.
I say do it, get part of it, provide that support. What we do now is actually going to be really beneficial for our community as a whole. They are our future, so we need to invest in that future.
The Waikato is our community. What we see this SSEP program doing is helping to generate pathways and inspire the youth of today, our rangatahi, to pursue careers that might ultimately see them working in our businesses in the future, supporting the future of our organisations.
Get amongst it. It really is great to kind of get on the floor and talk to some of the kids and get an understanding about where they see themselves going, and then you can kind of understand and then perhaps guide them in the right way. It's really a great opportunity to be a part of something like this.
Jump on board. I mean, it's really rewarding. It's good to see kids out in the industry, get them excited about your type of work, and so starting kids young, getting them excited about what type of careers are out there is really good.
If you want your chosen industry to succeed, this is where we need to be looking for the future.
So the funders that are working with Smart Waikato, huge thank you that you have given our students and many other students this opportunity. For this to continue, that funding does need to continue as well. It opens the doors for our students. It gives them the opportunity to see that there is a world out there that they can be a part of. So please, if you are a funder, continue to be a funder, and for those who are not, it is a great opportunity, something wonderful that you could be offering many students.
We have made some fantastic progress in the last 6 years, but there's so much more we can do and there's so much more we can achieve.
In these challenging times, it is essential that we continue to build on this strong platform and evolve it into the next phase, into career pathways, the senior school, further education and employment for our students. They are our future and they need the support from the entire region. We propose the co-creation of Secondary Schools Integrated Career Pathways Pilot, incorporating SSEP and STEP.
I am very proud to be part of this kaupapa as the president of the Waikato branch of CATE.
I'm just really excited about it, to be honest. It's going to be a huge thing.
I think it's really important that we have some sort of coordinated approach in career education and guidance within secondary schools in New Zealand. So I fully support the work that they've done.
So I love this idea, and I think most of all, I love that it's founded in grassroots. It's come from the rangatahi, it's come from the schools, and it grows on the Secondary School Employer Partnership Initiative, which I think has been fantastic for the Waikato.
Yeah, and it's got the backing of the Mayor's Task Force for Jobs.
We see this project as being one of the things that will help to show what can be done when you have a co-collaboration between multiple stakeholders.
And having seen the work of Smart Waikato over the years that I've been involved in the region, I've got absolute trust and faith that this is a great solution that will work.
Nau mai, haere mai, ki te launch of the Secondary Schools Integrated Career Pathways Pilot. And I'm delighted to announce this wonderful, exciting initiative that will ensure the mighty Waikato continues to empower its rangatahi right across the Waikato.
Secondary School Integrated Career Pathways Pilot is a co-created careers and hauora program integrated into years 9 to 13. Facilitated by Smart Waikato, the program will feature a framework, digital Waikato resources, professional development for teachers, SSEP in the junior school, and STEP, secondary tertiary employer partnerships in the senior school. It will draw on input from a range of groups, both regional and national, and tap into government strategies as appropriate.
Kia ora tātou, my name is Heather Lowery-Kappes. I am the President of the Career Development Association of New Zealand.
Hi, I'm Leigh Gray. I'm the kaiarahi of CATE New Zealand. I've been employed by the Ministry of Education under a network of expertise to provide professional development for career educators and transition educators in secondary schools throughout New Zealand.
Ko Jane Thomas, tōku ingoa. I am the Careers Advisor, Gateway Coordinator and Senior Teacher at Morrinsville College. I'm also President of CATE Waikato.
Kia ora, my name is Cody and I am currently a Vocational Pathways Coordinator at Robertson High Schools.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Kelvin Whiting, I'm Principal of Hillcrest High School.
My name's Natalie Parsons-Roberts, I teach at Hillcrest High School. I'm the Head of Health Education at school and I'm the lead of the Hawara program.
I'm Jasmine, I'm Year 13 at Hillcrest High School and I'm also one of our school's manukura, which is one of our school's Māori student leaders.
Kia ora, my name is Noah Willoff. I'm the National Program Manager for the Mayor's Task Force for Jobs, based out of Wellington and work right throughout the country.
Hi, my name is Wendy. I'm the National Coordinator for the Driver Change Network.
Kia ora tātou, ko Dawn Scarlet, tōku ingoa. I'm Key Relationships Manager for Mercury. I'm also a co-chair at Sanctuary Mountain Maungatautari. I'm a kaitiaki of the Waikato Wellbeing project.
Kia ora koutou, my name is Harvey Brookes. I'm the Executive Director of the Waikato Wellbeing project.
We always had the intention to grow SSEP into secondary tertiary employer partnerships in the senior school. While we were pondering how to best integrate the two together, we were approached by Hillcrest High School for support with their Hawara program. Many schools are incorporating Hawara or Wellbeing into their classroom learning using the Te Whare Tapawhā model, which focuses on 4 key pillars of mental, physical, spiritual and social well-being.
I approached Linda at Smart Waikato early in the year. I gave her probably one of the most vague briefs that I've come up with so far. And the brief for Linda was we want to lead some presentations to our senior students where we talk about careers and future pathways. Linda and the Smart Waikato team nailed these presentations, exceeded expectations and kicked it straight out the door. It was clear to both Linda and myself that although these presentations were a success, they were by no means fitting the bill. It was really, really clear that Smart Waikato team shared our passion and we were onto a winning formula.
A quick survey across 12 Waikato schools and kura confirmed that many schools are being asked to deliver careers and Hawara education as part of their classroom learning. Subject teachers are increasingly being asked to deliver this and need support.
Yes, a maths teacher or a science teacher or whatever happens to be, or any teacher for that matter, they wouldn't have taught this sort of thing before. So staff need support in being able to deliver that. That's really, really important. And if you get buy-in from staff and they see that it's really significant and important and they're getting PD around it and they see the value in it, then that has an immediate flow and effect to the students as well.
There's obviously the reality of, with implementing a new whole school initiative, taking on something that is quite different for a lot of our staff. There were some teething problems. Our whole school timetable changed. So with any large change in terms of kind of a structure and organisation, that took some getting used to. The role for our students and our staff in terms of the form teacher, that very much changed to a traditional form teacher who would see their students in the morning, tick the roll, check the uniform, kind of deal with notices. That very much shifted to the role of a Hawara teacher, which is very much based on relationships, connections and mentoring.
The quick survey also confirmed that while careers and Hawara is considered important in schools, only 25% said it was being done well.
In New Zealand secondary schools at the moment, we've got a real problem with careers advisors being overworked and not being able to reach all students. So we need to look at how that can be better. At the moment, there would be an average ratio of one careers advisor to about 1,500 students.
For many careers staff working in Waikato schools, there is simply not enough time in the day, the week, or the month for us to have valuable career conversations with all of our tauira.
There is a clear need in our Waikato secondary schools for support for careers and hauora in the classroom from the community. This need is further supported by findings of a hui held by the Waikato Wellbeing project, the Rangatahi Opportunity Project. At this hui, over 60 expert organisations working with youth came together to identify key themes to significantly enhance the wellbeing and employment outcomes to 2030. Key themes included a lack of direction or no clear pathways, cultural and social inequities, a need to focus on employability skills and driver licensing, employer input is vital, innovation and entrepreneurship, tertiary education, and youth involved in developing solutions.
So right now, less than 5% of students leave high school with their full licence. This is a problem because 70% of our jobs require at least a restricted licence as a prerequisite.
If young people have 4 to 5 interactions with employers while at secondary school, I think it's that they're 4 to 5 times less likely to become NEET.
We have one of the lowest unemployment rates as of November 2021 that we've had since 2008, and yet we seem to be still creating needs. So young people who are not employment training or education, and that's just not good enough. We need every single one of our rangatahi to be working well, to have meaningful, great jobs for the future, for our economy, for our livelihoods, and for our wellbeing.
What's really important to include is student voice. You know, like I think it's so awesome when teachers are passionate and want to cater to our students and stuff. But I think, student-driven hauora is really important. You know, students who are willing to kind of take charge. And
I think it's this, with the new national learning priorities coming into play in 2023, that there's a really high need for schools to have a very coordinated approach, which enables kids to be able to make their learning more relevant.
Above all, there was resounding agreement that the focus on an ambulance at the bottom of the cliff response needed to shift to proactive, earlier intervention.
You know, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that young people more and more, they need employers to be engaging within secondary school. And I think historically, we've really seen that vocational training has often been squeezed out of the educational system. So look, if we can get more young people in front of employers, I think it's a better.
Youth in New Zealand are a really important part of our economy moving forward, and so this is a good place to start. It's incredibly important that we get things right in the school space for our children, for their decision making and their ability to make good choices leading into their careers and occupations. We know that there are some real gaps in that space in terms of resourcing for the careers advisors in schools, including the time that they have, their ability to make the connections with stakeholders in the businesses. And so something like this would be an incredibly important way to be able to resource the schools advisors in the schools, and also for the employers to be able to reach those students that they traditionally just aren't reaching. So that's one of the reasons why we think that this pilot program is going to be so important, because it will help us to make those connections easier, but also to support our schools advisors, careers advisors in schools, and thereby supporting the whole economy of New Zealand.
So we need programs like this, programs that have I think 1 foot planted in the classroom and 1 foot planted in the real world to really connect young people with meaningful opportunities that support them to thrive.
And secondary schools' integrated career pathways is grounded in early intervention in schools, with all of our young people's needs at the core of this collaborative project.
Careers in Harua are incredibly important. They go hand in hand. Whether you think of yourself as having a career, a job, or whether you're just doing your mahi, the health and well-being of how you are feeling and what you are doing is intricately woven into that mahi, and so they really do fit together in a really strategic way.
And I think with all of the considerations for holistic well-being, hauora, and everything, and really taking a broad approach, a broad yet individualized approach to a young person's pathway is really just going to be the most beneficial experience that I'm 100% personally invested in seeing where it goes.
Yeah, if you place student wellbeing at the core of what you're doing, then you're giving them the key to achieve anything and reach their full potential.
I think, as well as all of the roles that I hold in the community, I'm also a parent, and I've watched my children go through their career journeys, their decisions about their careers, and I know that it's a complex world and it's an uncertain world for rangatahi who are starting their career journey.
Yeah, there's a real personal perspective for me. I mean, I've actually got a 17-year-old son literally in his last days of school right now. And it's just interesting talking to him about the choices he has in front of him. And it just really makes me think on a direct level, what is this like for so many people? This is really challenging, and it is really complex.
When I imagine my kids in the future, they are happy and hopefully they are working in a field that they are really, really passionate about. So if I'm thinking that as a parent for my kids, we should be, as professionals, as teachers, as experts in this field, that should be our goal for every single student. Our goal, when we imagine any of our students in front of us or going off to work experience, we should be thinking and imagining them empowered, passionate and productive in their future career, whatever that may be.
Hillcrest High has agreed to host the development of this initiative, and several other schools are keen to be involved, along with a range of regional and national stakeholder groups.
We're teachers, we understand, the students, we understand how to deliver content to students, but obviously what we are looking for is to work with the employers who are going to be the people that receive our young people. We're looking to work with tertiary education who is going to take on our students and develop them further. So we have schools here, we have the tertiary, and then we have the employers. And it's that pathway that continues from year 9 through to seniors, through to employment. So it's, for us, it's like this ongoing journey where our students feel a connection to tertiary education, our students feel a connection to future employers, and they feel confident to network within that group. So it's definitely that whole idea of a real collaborative approach with every single cog in the wheel that comes into this. So it's really, really important that we establish that working group in this process of developing the Hauora program. I'm convinced that together, with working with Smart Waikato, we can create a unique, purposeful, productive program, and that we can create something that all students will benefit from through the Waikato and beyond.
Ngā mihi kia koutou. Please join us and help us make this vital initiative a reality. The time to start is now.